It's now time for Remember When with Uncle John. John Guess, Ouachita County's resident storyteller and local historian. Sit back now and enjoy a walk down memory lane as John recalls the days of yesteryear in his own unique way. You never know, some of it might even be true. So here's Uncle John, along with his trusty sidekick, Kelly Blair.
Back on Remember When with Uncle John. Well, we did it. We survived another Monday, rolling along on a Tuesday. And, John, you said you got another curveball for us here today.
Well, something that I know you don't remember.
Okay.
1976, I was 16 years old. We had just come through Watergate. You know, the world was a different place at that time, you know. Peanut farmer from Georgia, former governor, you know, Jimmy Carter running for president. You know, it was a time of, it was a different time. And, of course, Playboy magazine interviewed him, got his thoughts and views on things. And the man admitted in print that I have looked on a lot of women with lust.
Wow.
Now, that's something for this day and time nobody would think anything about.
They'd think a little bit about it, but, yeah, they'd say, well, he's human.
But in 1976... for a devout Southern Baptist.
That's just not how you ran a PR campaign back then.
Like Jimmy Carter, but he was honest about it.
Yep.
And I think that was one of the things that captivated so many people about the man, was that he was honest.
Yep.
And you know, we were just talking, a lot of people consider him, as far as his time in office, as one of the worst times in the country's history.
Which he'll get a lot of blame for.
Of course.
Even though a lot of things were already set in motion before he got there.
Of course, you know, we're not going to compare that to today.
Right.
But anyway, the man is still, to me, one of the most honest people. I mean, the man's in his 90s and he's still helping them build houses.
Right.
Good man. But to a Southern Baptist that's running for president in 1976 to admit that he's lusted after other women, that was a huge deal. And it sold, they sold out. They had to do 3 or 4 printings, I think, of the magazine, because people went to get it, not for the women in it, for the interview with our would-be president.
Well, you know, especially back when Larry Flynt was a pretty active role in running Playboy and everything. Again, not to endorse, you know, some of the things that they had.
Larry Flynt was a hustler.
Oh, he was hustler.
He was hustler.
Oh, yeah.
Hugh Hefner.
Hugh Hefner is for Playboy, yeah.
Who now, the stories have come out about Hugh Hefner.
Right.
Larry Flynt couldn't set the table for him.
Yes, there you go.
But it was a big deal.
But, you know, those magazines, both of them, had some of the most honest, straightforward journalism articles that you could have asked for back in the day.
My dad hadn't been dead long, hadn't been passed away long. And my mother, who I would have thought would have never said the word lust in her life, watched it on TV, the stories about it on TV, and voted for him, I think, because he was so honest.
Yeah.
The fact that you've got a man that's running for president who's a Sunday school teacher that would admit that, he's an honest man.
Well, and people are still attracted to honesty, and honestly, all the politicians are lying to you and everything, and so for someone to be halfway honest, I could see where that would gander a lot of votes.
But we were only a couple of years away from Watergate, and people had seen the corruptness of the Washington establishment. They found out the president lied to them, and to have somebody that would admit, a husband and a father and a Sunday school teacher admit that I have looked upon other women with lust, and it was a big deal. My brother had the magazine, and I don't know if he still got it, but that's why people bought that magazine, to see that he admitted that, and of course I think that helped him get elected president.
Well, a lot of people like it when other people admit that I'm just as human as you and the guy next door and everybody else.
Well, I have no problem admitting it all. I'm still lusting after.
Still lusting. There you go. Well, I'm kind of like a dog on the end of the chain. All I can do is bark. Anyway, hey, that's going to wrap up Remember When with Uncle John. Sure do appreciate Sherwin-Williams House Paint for being one of our great sponsors. 315 Jefferson Street right here in Camden. 836-8125. Give Greg Bradshaw and his staff a call. Let's see what they can help you out with your home project.
And ProMed Ambulance, 634-0436. Serving Randolph, Lawrence, Ashley, Union, Dallas, and Calhoun County. Give them a call.
Don't forget about the Prescott Raceway, doing races every single weekend at 5121 Highway 53 East. Check them out at PrescottRaceway.net. You can find them on Facebook or go by and see Jackie Lewis at the Napa store in Magnolia.
And our good buddy J.J. Lindsay down at the Shopper's Guide. Give him a call for all your stationery needs.
Don't forget, folks, if you miss us somewhere along the line, you can find our podcast everywhere you can find podcasts. iHeartRadio, Google, Spotify, Apple Podcast, all that kind of good stuff, YouTube, and of course you can find us right there on the Yes Radio Works page as well. I guess we'll see you tomorrow, John.
See you tomorrow, Kelly.
You've been listening to Remember When with Uncle John on Y95. This broadcast can be heard each weekday morning at 6:45 on South Arkansas's favorite station, Y95.